Hey everyone, Mark and Nick from Hobby Extreme. We have something kind of special for you. As you know, we got the Ranger turbine jet and we crashed it. More on that later. But what we're going to do today is we're going to start taking all of the equipment out of the old Boomerang Ranger and put it into the new Boomerang Ranger.
Oh, we're doing a Boomerang? What do we do?
Doing another Boomerang Ranger. That is the Canada version scheme. It's going to be a beautiful plane. We decided to do that instead of the orange to change it up just a little bit. We're going to do the unboxing of that, and we're going to show you how to switch over everything from this Ranger to the new Ranger. Now, luckily, it's the same aircraft. So a lot of this stuff is already cut and made specifically for this airplane. So hopefully, we get to just take it out of here and put it in there. Let's see how it goes. So we have a new Boomerang Ranger that we got from Full Throttle RC. We happen to have one in stock after my mishap. So we're going to do an unboxing here, and we're going to see what the new Boomerang Ranger scheme is like. It's pretty nice, I heard, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Canada scheme. Is this part of their Canada Royal Air Force scheme? Do we know?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We've seen pictures of it, and it looks really, really pretty. So I'm kind of excited about that. Right off the bat, we can tell that the packaging is actually really good. So the top is off.
It's like, it's not a large box, but it's a very dense box.
It is a dense box. It's really protected the aircraft well. You can get a glimpse, so I still need that razor blade. Glimpse of what the scheme looks like here. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be pretty. So that is the vertical stabilizer. It looks like they packaged both wings together here. That's good. I always want to try to cut it without cutting into the model. Oh, look at that.
I like the
Isn't that pretty?
the strips on the front. Or, oh, it's not wrapped around like a heat shield.
That is nice. I just noticed that too, Nick.
Silver.
Yeah, the silver. Boy, that looks nice. So, should we unwrap one of these and see what it looks like?
Sure.
All right. Through the magic of editing, Nick can probably speed up this one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's going to be a nice scheme, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be real good looking. You know what we should have? We should have shelving. Start putting this stuff on.
I know. I need a lot of shelving. There's not a lot of room for stuff in here right now.
Not a lot of room. We're going to try to keep everything from getting what we hate. The worst of all is hanger rash. Hanger rash, if you don't know, is not damage you get while flying the aircraft. It's damage what you get while transporting the aircraft or storing the aircraft. And hanger rash is just terrible because it is somewhat preventable. And, you know, we have a lot of pride in our models. We like the way they look. We clean them down. We love the way they look in the air, but we want to keep them as fresh as possible. And hanger rash, we've had our fair share of hanger rash, and it's just terrible, ain't it, Nick?
Yeah. We'll leave that one in the bag.
Leave it in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to put, I think we're going to put the tip tanks back on. Now, when I had my first little mishap with the Ranger, I actually went from tip tanks to using just the wing tip covers, and I think I liked it. I'm not really sure. So Nick, I think what we're going to do is we're going to screw these in, not glue them, and we'll just see if we like it better. But we're going to put the tip tanks on first, and then I might go back to just the wingtip covers instead. Everything's glued in or taped down. What I'm really trying to get to is the meat of the project, which is fuselage. All right, we got a new tank. One of the only good things about going for a rekit is you get everything brand new. New tank, although we do have to assemble the tank, and that's one of the most gut-wrenching things in a jet is making sure you have the tank perfect.
Well, we might not even be using that tank.
Might not. We might be able to see most of the stuff in our crash was minor damage. Most of it was done to the fuselage and the wings. So.
Well, I was trying to hit to something else.
Oh, what are you trying to hit?
Smoke.
Oh, yeah. Right, so we might not use that tank because what do I want to do?
You want to run smoke on everything?
I want to run smoke. So, probably going to put a smoke tank in, which actually is a clever divided tank. It divides the tank in half. It's actually 70%, 30%. 70% being fuel, 30% being smoke. We're going to run smoke in this bag. We got our parts bag.
Hardware.
Let's see what else we have in here. We can take this out, make it easier to get to the fuselage. Make sure we don't have any extra little parts like this. Oh, Nick, look what they came with. We want to put lights on the wing pods, on the fuel pods. Light covers.
That's cool.
That's kind of neat. All right, I think we can just lift this whole thing. No, we cannot. We're gonna have to bust some of this out. Oh, there we go. Where we go. Look at this. Oh, that's beautiful. This is gonna be a beautiful looking model. I'm glad we went with the different scheme. Might as well switch it up. If you're gonna rekit, switch it up. Not switching past the Ranger though. I like it too much. For the next week, we're gonna have Ranger parts all over this garage. Nick, I hope you don't mind. You took over my house for 18 years, so I'll take over your house for a week.
Well, that's what this garage is for, is to build airplanes.
It is, right?
Yes.
That's cool. Okay, so the actual fuselage comes in two parts on the Ranger. The tail boom section is mated to the fuselage section with 4 bolts. So it's kind of nice and necessary because there's a lot of stuff we have to do inside the rear tail boom to make sure that the wires are secure so they don't fall against the heat tube. The thrust tube gets very, very hot, as you can imagine in a jet. So it's very crucial that we make sure that the wires, the servo leads going back to the tail, are secure so they don't fall against the thrust tube and melt. Because what happens if our tail wires melt?
Oh, we lose tail authority.
Everything. Elevator and rudder, right? That's not good. And then what we've all been waiting for, what I've been waiting for, we're going to take this one out of the package. Because it's most likely what we're going to start on.
Well, actually, probably, I usually start with wings and control surfaces with servos.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do that.
You can start on wings. I'm going to start with these.
All right. Yeah, leave the annoying job for me. Huh?
Hey, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying without saying it. All right. Get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. It has done its job, and it has gotten to us safely. Yep, you can get rid of that too, Nick. You're right. Gone with the wind. Wow. Look at the quality of the paint and everything. By the way, we actually ceramic coated the last Ranger, and it worked very well. We're going to do that again with this one because it just keeps it cleaner, makes it slicker, and it actually easier to clean when it's ceramic coated. And we'll show you how to do that as well since we're doing a full rekit build on this. So that is our magic thrust tube. We know what that is. And then the Snowbird Canada theme. Look at that. Pretty. There's a lot of work we have to do inside the fuselage before we can even start mounting gear. We have to actually cover all of this exposed balsa with an epoxy coat so that if it does get saturated with fuel, because diesel fuel will soak into anything it touches, it will stay clean. So we'll have to epoxy, we'll have to cover all of this up and epoxy coat the trays as well before we start mounting anything. But that is the Snowbird theme. Right, it's going to be a pretty jet. That's pretty much it for the unboxing. I guess now we have to get to work.
Yeah. What's all in the hardware? What do they include in the hardware-wise?
Let's take a look.
What things do I have to make?
Everything. Let's see what we got in here. All kinds of little packets here. Thrust tube mounts, all the screws, hardware, all the phallic pieces that connect the wings and the horizontal stabilizer to the fuselage. Those get glued in. Of course, all of our servo horns that we couldn't find. Remember?
Yep.
Couldn't find these, but now we have new ones. And of course, control linkage rods. And then in the big package, we have gear. So the gear in the Ranger, when I did wreck the Ranger, it was salvageable. So now we have extra gear. But the new rekits, of course, come with new retracts. These are from JP. These are JP retracts. With, of course, the JP controller. Always be careful not to throw away little parts that you might not realize is in there. We have had very good luck with the JP controller so far. That will get mounted probably on the lower deck inside the fuselage. And then another bag of goodies. So I'm not actually sure what that is, Nick.
I'll figure it out.
Yep. And then they give us JP leads for the gear. Now, one thing we have noticed is that this gear is extremely stout. It can take a lot of abuse. Not just from hard landings. We really haven't had a hard landing outside of the engine out test run that we did.
That's not really even considered a landing.
That's not considered a landing, right? You have to be able to walk away from it and reuse the aircraft.
Yeah.
We can't reuse that aircraft. But what we did notice is when we're transferring from our Petromat, our field has Petromat, when you transfer from Petromat to brass, it absorbs that shock very well. So this gear is very good. Most people are using JP gear, we find. They do sometimes switch out the JP controller. There's some schools of thought on that, on it failing sometimes, but we haven't experienced that ourselves. And the JP gear itself is really stout and really nice to use. So.
And the gear issue that we found from a couple videos ago, we found that it was basically just the worm gears got a little bit of dirt in them. So we cleaned out the worm gears, and that fixed up that issue. No problem.
Right. What Nick is talking about is the gear actuator works with a worm gear inside, and that screws up and down to rotate the gear 90 degrees. That can get caked with dirt and dust and debris, so you don't want to use any kind of oil on the worm gear. You want to use a dry lube, and you need to get to it to be able to clean it. We had about 85 flights on the last Ranger, and it was getting to the point where the gear started giving us problems, where it wouldn't actually come down. And the problem was the worm gear was caked with just a little bit of debris that we needed to maintain and clean. Well, we have the Ranger unpacked. Now we have to, oh, you know what I didn't find, Nick, is an instruction manual. It's got to be tied in here somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think it is.
If it's not, then maybe it's online?
Well, my whole instruction manual is right there.
Your what?
My whole instruction manual is right here.
Right, the old one?
The old one. So I'm basically just going to be mimicking a lot of what Chris did, doing it the exact same way.
I do find it odd, though, that it didn't have an instruction manual. It has to. It's in here somewhere. I think I found it. We did find, though, a couple of people that were doing these unboxings and builds, full builds on the Ranger, that even the instruction manual that it did come with wasn't very detailed. Not a dig on Boomerang. This is a new product for them. But I guess they expect when you're at this level of the hobby.
Oh, it comes with a clear windshield.
You just know how to do it. Yeah, so Full Throttle RC, when they built ours, they actually smoked the windshield or painted it black. And I liked that look. think we might do that again, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll do that again because I did like that look. But no instruction manual. Not in the tag. No. Possible it's tied into the thrust tube. Nope. Not in there either. Could be under this box, yeah?
Could be.
Always check your boxes. Sneaky little parts. Nope. All right, Boomerang. Where is it? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out on our own.
Pretty sure we can.
We can do it. We'll figure it out. Why? Because we have a template.
Yep. We got a pretty good template to work off of.
We have a pretty good template, so we'll just have to use that. But that's it for the unboxing video from Hobby Extreme. We're going to give you probably a time-lapse view. We're going to do some builds on this, right? Right, Nick?
We're going to be doing a couple video series.
A couple of videos? Okay.
We're going to be doing a full build on this, showing you the full process, us making mistakes and probably doing it some parts wrong. But we're going to show you what we learned from it. So it's going to be a couple of video series showing the build on this. And hopefully it all goes good. We can get it done fairly quick for a jet fun fly that Dad wants to go to.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to build this. And I've never built a jet. Woohoo!
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.